Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi. So your character, does he just have no sense of self-preservation at all? Like some decisions that he makes?
Yeah, he's you know, I think he has that kind of thing that these old school heroes have, which is a willful disregard for his own safety. He's only concerned with not getting killed after he's put himself in a situation where he's going to get killed, or he might get killed. You have to sort of have that bravado about you as a character in this kind of universe in order to do the crazy things he does.
And how is it for you as an actor to walk that line of, like, is he being heroic or is he kind of
being stupid?
Yeah.
Well, basically you have Harvey Bullock to tell him. You know, I mean, Harvey is there to go, you're an idiot, and to have the audience go, yeah, he's right. That's the one of the, you know, points of having a partner like that, is to sort of be the eyes and ears of the audience at times, saying, why are you doing this? But of course he's never going to be able to not do that. What he will learn to do is to be better at it, to be smarter about it, to approach it from a different angle, and to make certain, you might say, compromises morally in order to get the things done that he wants to get done.
Your relationship with Barbara seems just like it's this ticking time bomb.
Right.
I mean, is there any redemption? Is there any hope for them to kind of figure stuff out, or is this going to all implode in these last 4 episodes?
You're gonna have to watch to find out, but it's in a pretty bad place. You know, she is really at wit's end, and comes back. I think believing that Jim could be her salvation yet again, only to find him with another woman. This can't be good for her mental health. You know, Jim takes on this case at the end of the season. I'm sure you guys have already heard of the Ogre, which is a serial killer who seduces, tortures, and kills women, and makes sure he stays free by killing the loved ones of any cop who comes after him. Jim takes on this case knowing that a loved one of his is going to be targeted. So the relationship that he has to both Tompkins and Barbara will probably be tested.
The character of the Ogre, we know that it's going to be a different version than the version of the comics.
Yes.
And there seems to be some speculation that this may be yet another precursor towards seeing the Joker in the show. Can you talk about that at all? I'm assuming you probably can't.
I probably can't. I probably shouldn't. You know, what I'll say is, overall, throughout the series, I think Bruno has done a kind of an ingenious thing, which is, we will always be unspooling possible Jokers. There will always be different people who could possibly take on that persona, and the audience is left trying to figure out who the actual Joker is. I think it's quite brilliant in a way. I mean, I don't think you want to bring in the actual evolved persona of the Joker right now. I think it's too early. There are so many other things that we're trying to set up, from Bruce's storyline, Gordon's obviously, all Enigma, Penguin, all of these other villains. It would get, as soon as you actually bring the full force Joker, you know, to the front, no one's going to care about anything else. You know, so we've got to be very judicious about that. But yeah, I think it's an ongoing process, and it will hopefully run the entire span of the series.
And then with his relationship with Dr. Tompkins, which is super, like, warm and bright, you know, how is that for you to kind of have that diversity in your material, so it's not just so single-minded all the time? It's great. It's a welcome breath of fresh air. I mean, you know, Bruno and I were, this in some sense, this came out of a conversation of, man, you know, not that I mind playing the sort of the darker notes, but if it's always just gloom and doom, you know, eventually the audience gets a little tired of it, and I get a little tired of playing kind of the growly, you know, gruff guy who's everything is always going wrong. You need some brightness to it, and the way to get that is to have Jim meet his equal, and that's who he has in the form of Dr. Tompkins. He has a kindred spirit and a competent
positive force in his life. So that's where it's starting, but of course it's Gotham, so it'll take some twists and turns.
Is there much light in the last 4 episodes?
No. It is really dark. It is crazy dark. I would say there's only light in the darkness, if that makes any sense. Obviously, you know, you could use any number of metaphors, but you know, it's dark. It's darkest before the sunrise is one of them. Bruce's evolution into actually donning the cape and cowl comes when he has not only had the death of his parents, but he's seen the true depravity that his own company kind of espouses. So he's got to, you know, he'll get darker into that. It sort of gets light at the end, but no, it's really dark. It's really dark.
Has the show or the character taken off in ways that you didn't expect? Like, has it changed in ways that you...
Yeah, it has. I mean, we've stuck to the conversations I had with Danny and Bruno before signing on to the series. They gave me an overall log line that was very similar to what we followed, which is it is Jim's ascension in the police force from rookie detective to eventual commissioner, marked by the descendants of Gotham into chaos, and his ascendance is also, you know, comes with a price. And the price is he has to fall from his sort of lofty moral perch into the muck and get his hands dirty. That's a great, you know, a hero who becomes a somewhat of an anti-hero is a great. It's just a great sort of conception. I think we've roughly, you know, hewed to that. I've been surprised. I don't know. I don't know what I've been surprised by. Maybe just how much we've covered in one season. I forget how many episodes 22 is. You know, it did Southland. It was 10 episodes at a time, and it felt somewhat contained. And 22, you're just sort of bouncing from one story to another and back and forth. But overall, I think we will have told Jim's story reasonably well. We'll continue to tell it in the future.
And is your approach different when you're playing scenes with these significantly younger actors as you were with Celine and Bruce?
Yeah, I mean, I think the approach is similar. I think what you find yourself doing just naturally is being different. You are different around people of that age than you are around your contemporaries, and you naturally take on the mentoring role that Jim takes on. You know, not that, you know, David and Cameron really need all that much because they're, you know, excellent actors, you know, wise beyond their years, but you end up sort of leaning into them and trying to explain in a scene or outside of a scene whatever it is you're trying to explain. I think it's a wonderful element for the show. You know, I think it balances the extreme darkness of some of the adult characters with what is, you know, the light maybe, which is that there's a future, and that if possibly these children or younger people can escape the fate of the adults, then maybe there's hope for us all, right? So it's a great element to have, and they're both great actors.
Thank you.
Thank you.